Hey friends, welcome back to TalkMate English. I'm Adam, and today we're stepping into something special together. This is not just another English lesson. This is your Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In the next session with me, you will practice, repeat, and live inside the sounds and rhythms of advanced English. I'll guide you through real-life examples, natural conversations, and fluency exercises that will help you speak smoothly, confidently, and clearly. Think of this lesson like sitting down with a friend who really wants you to succeed. Together, we'll go beyond simple vocabulary and basic phrases. We'll explore how to connect your ideas, how to respond quickly, and how to make your speech sound natural, not forced. I want you to relax, take a deep breath, and imagine that this time is for you alone. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be willing to practice and repeat after me. Every exercise we do will bring you closer to the way advanced speakers communicate in daily life. So let's begin this journey together by opening our ears, our voices, and our confidence. When we talk about advanced English, many learners imagine long, complicated words. But advanced English is not about using the biggest or most difficult vocabulary. It's about sounding natural, fluent, and flexible in real situations. It's about being able to share your thoughts clearly, to respond quickly, and to understand the little details that make conversations feel alive. Let's start with something simple yet powerful: linking words. In advanced English, speakers don't throw short, broken sentences at each other. They connect their thoughts smoothly. For example, instead of saying, "I was tired, I went to bed early," an advanced speaker might say, "I was tired, so I went to bed early." Or even more naturally, "I was exhausted, so I just crashed early last night." Now let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. I was tired, so I went to bed early. Good. Now try the second version. I was exhausted, so I just crashed early last night. Can you feel how much more natural it sounds? Advanced English is about making your sentences flow like this. Another big part of advanced English is using natural expressions in daily life. These are the phrases native speakers use without thinking. For example, instead of just saying, "I don't know," advanced speakers often say, "I have no idea," or "Honestly, I'm not sure," or even, "That's beyond me." Each one has the same meaning, but the tone and feeling change slightly. Let's practice these together. Repeat slowly after me. I have no idea. Good. Now again. Honestly, I'm not sure. And one more. That's beyond me. Excellent. These small changes make your English sound advanced and alive, not like a textbook. Let me give you another example from daily life. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you do in your free time?" A basic answer might be, "I read books, I watch TV, I play games." That's fine, but it sounds simple and broken. An advanced answer could connect ideas more naturally, like this: "In my free time, I love reading novels, and when I need to relax, I usually watch a series or play video games with my friends." See how it flows? The ideas are connected, the rhythm is smoother, and it feels like real speech. Let's practice it now. Repeat after me, nice and slow. In my free time, I love reading novels, and when I need to relax, I usually watch a series or play video games with my friends. Try again, but a little faster this time. Very good. This is the kind of rhythm you should aim for in advanced English. Now let's talk about conversation reactions. In daily English, advanced speakers don't just give long answers. They also react naturally in small ways. Imagine your friend says, "I just got a new job." A basic response might be, "That's good." But an advanced speaker might say, "That's amazing, congratulations," or, "Wow, that's fantastic news. I'm so happy for you." These small details show warmth, emotion, and connection. Let's practice reacting together. Repeat slowly after me. "That's amazing, congratulations." Now again, "Wow, that's fantastic news. I'm so happy for you." Excellent. When you practice these reactions, you're training yourself to sound natural and advanced. Here's another powerful skill for advanced English: paraphrasing. This means saying the same idea in different words. Native speakers do this all the time, and it makes them sound fluent because they don't get stuck. For example, if you want to say, "It's very important," you could also say, "It's crucial," or "It really matters," or "It's essential." Let's practice. Repeat slowly after me. "It's very important." Now again, "It's crucial." Once more, "It really matters." And finally, "It's essential." By practicing these variations, you train your brain to choose words more freely, which makes you sound advanced and confident. Let's take a short, real-life practice situation now. Imagine you're at a meeting with colleagues, and someone asks for your opinion. A basic response might be, "I think it is good." But an advanced response could be, "I believe this approach is effective because it allows us to save time and focus on the key points." Do you hear the difference? One is short and simple, the other is advanced, clear, and detailed. Practice with me now. Repeat after me. "I believe this approach is effective because it allows us to save time and focus on the key points." Very good. Try again with more confidence in your voice. That's excellent. This is how you start building your advanced speaking style. Another important part of advanced fluency is using connectors when you explain ideas. For example, words like "however," on the other hand, "in addition," "meanwhile," "as a result," these words make your speech sound like connected thinking, not broken sentences. Let me show you with an example. Basic version: "I like coffee, I don't like tea." Advanced version: "I like coffee, however, I don't really enjoy tea." Or, "I like coffee. On the other hand, tea has never been my favorite." Can you feel the difference? It's not only about grammar, it's about the flow of thought. Now let's practice. Repeat slowly after me. "I like coffee. However, I don't really enjoy tea." Again. "I like coffee. On the other hand, tea has never been my favorite." Excellent. These are the small tools that make you sound advanced. Let's take another practice situation. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your weekend?" A basic answer might be, It was good. I went shopping. But an advanced answer would sound more connected like this. My weekend was great. I went shopping with a friend, and afterwards we grabbed some lunch at a new cafe downtown. It was really fun. Now practice with me. Repeat slowly after me. My weekend was great. I went shopping with a friend, and afterwards we grabbed some lunch at a new cafe downtown. It was really fun. Good. Try once more, but make it sound natural, like you're telling a friend. Perfect. This is the heart of advanced English. Connecting your ideas, adding detail, and reacting naturally. As we continue in this lesson, we'll practice many more of these techniques together. Another important part of sounding advanced in English is using intonation and rhythm. When native speakers talk, they don't keep the same flat tone. Their voice rises, falls, slows down, and speeds up depending on the feeling of the sentence. This natural music of English makes speech easier to follow and much more engaging. For example, listen to the difference between these two versions. Flat version. I can't believe you did that. Natural version. I can't believe you did that. In the second one, the emphasis on can't believe shows surprise and emotion. That is how advanced speakers sound real and alive in conversation. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. I can't believe you did that. Now try it again, this time with stronger emotion. Good. Now imagine you are joking with a friend and say it in a playful tone. I can't believe you did that. Perfect. This kind of practice makes you sound advanced without even changing your vocabulary. Another powerful skill is storytelling. Advanced English speakers can share experiences like a story, not just a list of facts. For example, instead of saying, "Yesterday I went to the park. I met my friend. We ate lunch," an advanced version might be, "Yesterday I went to the park and ran into an old friend. We ended up sitting by the lake, talking for hours and sharing lunch together." Do you feel how much smoother and richer that sounds? That is advanced fluency. Let's try it together. Repeat slowly after me. Yesterday I went to the park and ran into an old friend. We ended up sitting by the lake talking for hours and sharing lunch together. Try it once more, but let your voice flow naturally, not like you're reading. That's it. You're building storytelling rhythm. Now let's take a real-life practice exercise. Imagine you want to describe your morning to someone. A basic description might be, I woke up, I ate breakfast, I went to work. But let's make it advanced. I woke up earlier than usual today, so I had time to make a big breakfast. After eating, I got ready and headed to work feeling more energetic than normal. That version sounds natural, connected, and detailed. Practice this with me. Repeat after me slowly. I woke up earlier than usual today, so I had time to make a big breakfast. After eating, I got ready and headed to work feeling more energetic than normal. Excellent. Repeat again, this time with a smooth flow. Very good. Advanced English also includes being able to give reasons and explanations smoothly. For example, if someone asks, "Why do you enjoy reading?" a basic answer might be, "Because it's fun." An advanced answer could be, "I enjoy reading because it allows me to escape into different worlds, and it also improves my imagination and vocabulary. Let's practice that together. Repeat slowly. I enjoy reading because it allows me to escape into different worlds, and it also improves my imagination and vocabulary. Try it again, this time more naturally. Very good. This practice helps you answer questions in a way that feels full and advanced. Now let's practice with a short speaking challenge. I will describe a situation, and you try to form an advanced response. Situation. A friend asks you, "What did you do over the weekend?" Instead of saying just, "I stayed home," try building a longer answer like, "I stayed home most of the weekend, but I used the time to relax, read a few chapters of my book, and cook a new recipe I'd been wanting to try." Now it's your turn. Repeat slowly after me. I stayed home most of the weekend, but I used the time to relax, read a few chapters of my book, and cook a new recipe I'd been wanting to try. Excellent. That is advanced fluency in action. Finally, let's talk about emotional language. Advanced speakers express feelings with variety, not just with simple words like happy or sad. For example, instead of "I'm happy," you can say, "I'm thrilled," "I'm over the moon," or "I'm really pleased." Instead of "I'm sad," you can say, "I'm heartbroken," "I feel down," or "I'm upset." These words give color and life to your sentences. Let's practice these together. Repeat slowly. I'm thrilled. Again. I'm over the moon. One more. I'm really pleased. Now try the other side. Repeat after me. I'm heartbroken. Again. I feel down. One more. I'm upset. Excellent. These small changes make your English advanced because you show feelings in richer ways. Another essential part of advanced English is learning how to expand your answers. Too often, learners give very short replies, which can make conversations feel awkward. For example, imagine someone asks, "How was your day?" A basic answer might be, "It was good." That's correct, but it ends the conversation quickly. An advanced speaker expands by adding details and feelings. Like this, "It was good. I managed to finish some important tasks at work, and in the evening I met up with a friend for dinner, which was really relaxing." Now let's practice this style together. Repeat slowly after me. It was good. I managed to finish some important tasks at work, and in the evening I met up with a friend for dinner, which was really relaxing. Try it again, but this time, imagine you're really sharing your day with a close friend. Excellent. That's how you bring depth into your daily conversations. Here's another example. If someone asks, "Do you like traveling?" a basic answer might be, "Yes, I do." But an advanced answer could be, "Yes, I really enjoy traveling because it gives me the chance to experience new cultures, try different foods, and meet interesting people." That sounds natural, advanced, and full of personality. Practice with me. Repeat after me slowly. Yes, I really enjoy traveling because it gives me the chance to experience new cultures, try different foods, and meet interesting people. Again, one more time with smoother rhythm. Very good. You see, expanding your answers makes you sound confident and advanced instantly. Another advanced skill is describing situations with comparisons and contrasts. Native speakers often use expressions like on the one hand, on the other hand, compared to, similar to, or different from. For example, instead of saying, I like summer more than winter, an advanced version could be, I prefer summer because the weather is warm and the days are longer, but on the other hand, I sometimes enjoy the quiet beauty of winter. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. I prefer summer because the weather is warm and the days are longer, but on the other hand, I sometimes enjoy the quiet beauty of winter. Excellent. Try it one more time with a little more expression in your voice. Perfect. This ability to compare and contrast helps you explain ideas in richer detail. Now let's try a real-life example. Imagine someone asks you, which do you prefer, working from home or working in an office? A basic answer could be, I prefer working from home. But let's make it advanced. I prefer working from home because it saves me commuting time and allows me to focus better. However, I do miss the social interaction of working in an office. See the balance? That's advanced conversation. Practice with me now. Repeat slowly. I prefer working from home because it saves me commuting time and allows me to focus better. However, I do miss the social interaction of working in an office. Very good. Say it one more time naturally, as if you are really answering that question. Excellent. Another advanced element is speculation, talking about things that might happen or could be true. Native speakers often use phrases like, I guess, I suppose, it might be, it could be, or perhaps. For example, if someone asks, why is he late? Instead of just saying, I don't know, you could say, I suppose he might be stuck in traffic. Or, perhaps he had another meeting. Let's practice these. Repeat slowly after me. I suppose he might be stuck in traffic. Again, perhaps he had another meeting. One more. It could be that he forgot the time. Excellent. Using speculation makes your speech sound thoughtful and advanced. Now, let's move into giving opinions politely and naturally. In advanced English, you don't always say, I think. You can vary your expression. For example, in my opinion, from my perspective, as far as I can tell, it seems to me, or if you ask me. Let's practice these together. Repeat slowly. In my opinion, this is the best choice. Now, from my perspective, it's a good opportunity. Again, as far as I can tell, it should work fine. One more. It seems to me that we need more preparation. And finally, if you ask me, I'd go for the second option. Very good. These variations make you sound advanced and flexible in discussions. Now let's take a practice conversation. Imagine someone asks, do you think learning English online is effective? A basic answer might be, yes, I think it is effective. But let's create an advanced answer. In my opinion, learning English online can be very effective because it offers flexibility, access to many resources, and opportunities to practice with people from around the world. Practice with me now. Repeat slowly. In my opinion, learning English online can be very effective because it offers flexibility, access to many resources, and opportunities to practice with people from around the world. Excellent. That's exactly how advanced speakers build strong answers. Another area to focus on is clarifying and confirming in conversations. When you don't fully understand something, advanced speakers don't just say, "What?" They use polite and natural expressions like, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Do you mean?" Or, "So if I understand correctly, you're saying..." These phrases keep conversations smooth and respectful. Let's practice them now. Repeat slowly. "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Again. "Do you mean that the meeting is tomorrow?" One more. "So, if I understand correctly, you're saying we should start earlier." Very good. These are powerful tools for real-life conversations. Finally, let's talk about expressing agreement and disagreement politely. Advanced speakers don't just say yes or no. They add phrases that make their response sound natural. For example, "That's true. I completely agree. You're absolutely right. I see your point, but..." Or, "I'm not sure I agree with that." Practice with me. Repeat slowly. "That's true. Now, I completely agree." Again, "You're absolutely right." Now let's try disagreement politely. Repeat after me. "I see your point, but I think there might be another way to look at it." One more. "I'm not sure I agree with that." Excellent. These small expressions show respect and confidence, which are key parts of advanced English. Now let's explore a very important area of advanced English: persuasion and negotiation. In real life, whether at work, school, or even with friends, you often need to convince someone or explain your side politely. Advanced speakers don't simply say, "Do this," or "I want that." They use softer, more persuasive language. For example, instead of saying, "You should change the plan," you could say, "Maybe we could consider changing the plan." Or, "What if we tried a different approach?" These phrases invite cooperation and make your English sound more natural and professional. Let's practice these together. Repeat slowly after me. "Maybe we could consider changing the plan." Again, "What if we tried a different approach?" One more. "Perhaps we should look at some other options." Excellent. Do you notice how polite and advanced they sound? Now imagine you're in a work meeting and you want to express your idea. A basic version might be, "My idea is better." But an advanced version could be, "I think this idea might be more effective because it saves time and reduces costs." See the difference? One sounds rude, the other sounds confident and professional. Practice with me. Repeat slowly. "I think this idea might be more effective because it saves time and reduces costs." Very good. Say it again, but more naturally this time. Excellent. This is how you can persuade politely in advanced English. Another advanced skill is handling disagreements. In real life, people won't always agree with you, but advanced English helps you stay polite and respectful while disagreeing. Instead of just saying, "No, that's wrong," you could say, "I see where you're coming from, but I think there might be another way to see it." Or, "That's an interesting point, although my experience has been a little different." These keep the conversation open and respectful. Let's practice. Repeat after me slowly. I see where you're coming from, but I think there might be another way to see it. Again, that's an interesting point, although my experience has been a little different. Excellent. Using these expressions makes you sound professional, calm, and advanced. Now let's move into asking for clarification and giving. Clarification. Advanced speakers use natural phrases to make sure communication is clear. For example, if you didn't understand, you could say, "Could you explain that a little more?" Or, "Just to be clear, do you mean?" And when you're giving clarification, you might say, "What I mean is," or, in other words, "Practice these with me now." Repeat slowly. Could you explain that a little more? Again, just to be clear, do you mean the meeting is at 2 o'clock? Now practice clarifying. What I mean is that we should start earlier. Again. In other words, it's better to prepare before the deadline. Excellent. These expressions give you confidence in any advanced conversation. Let's practice with a real-life scenario. Imagine you're talking to a colleague who says, "We might need to adjust the schedule." You're not sure what they mean, so you ask, "Just to be clear, are you suggesting we move the deadline?" Then they reply, "Yes, exactly." This shows how clarification keeps communication smooth. Another advanced element is polite requests. Instead of saying, "Give me that book," advanced speakers say, "Could you pass me that book, please?" Or, "Would you mind helping me with this?" These polite forms are very common in real-life English. Practice with me now. Repeat slowly. Could you pass me that book, please? Again. Would you mind helping me with this? One more. I was wondering if you could send me the file. Excellent. These expressions sound polite and advanced in daily life. Now let's look at making suggestions. A basic speaker might say, "Do this." But an advanced speaker says, "Why don't we try this?" Or, "How about we look at other options?" Or, "Maybe we could consider another plan." These small changes make a big difference. Practice with me. Repeat slowly. Why don't we try this? Now again, how about we look at other options? One more. Maybe we could consider another plan. Perfect. These are natural and advanced ways to suggest ideas. Now let's practice expressing possibilities. Native speakers often use modal verbs like might, could, may, or would to make speech softer and more advanced. For example, instead of saying, "This will work," you can say, "This might work," or "This could be a good solution." Repeat slowly after me. This might work. Again, this could be a good solution. One more. It may be worth trying. Excellent. These small changes help you sound more advanced instantly. Another area is expressing preferences politely. Instead of saying, "I want this," you can say, "I'd prefer this option." Or, "I'd rather go with the second choice." Or, "I think I'd feel more comfortable with this idea." Let's practice. Repeat slowly. "I'd prefer this option." Again, "I'd rather go with the second choice." One more. "I think I'd feel more comfortable with this idea." Excellent. Now, let's take a short practice dialogue together. Imagine you and a friend are deciding where to eat. Friend: "Shall we go to the Italian restaurant?" Basic reply: "No, I don't want to." Advanced reply: "I'd rather try the new Thai place if that's okay with you." This way, you share your preference politely. Practice with me. Repeat slowly. "I'd rather try the new Thai place if that's okay with you." Very good. Say it once, more with a friendly tone. Excellent. Finally, let's talk about showing interest in conversations. Advanced speakers don't just talk, they listen and react. They say things like, "Really? That's interesting." "Oh, wow. Tell me more." "No way. Are you serious?" These small reactions make you sound involved and natural. Practice with me now. Repeat slowly. "Really?" Again. "That's interesting." One more. "Oh, wow. Tell me more." And finally, "No way. Are you serious?" Perfect. These are exactly the kinds of reactions that advanced speakers use in daily life. One of the most useful advanced skills is handling misunderstandings. In real conversations, people sometimes mishear or misunderstand you. Instead of just repeating the same sentence louder, advanced speakers use strategies to fix the communication smoothly. For example, if someone misunderstands you, you might say, "Let me put it another way." Or, "What I meant was," or, "Sorry, I think I wasn't clear. Let me explain again." Let's practice these together. Repeat slowly after me. Let me put it another way. Again. What I meant was, and now. Sorry, I think I wasn't clear. Let me explain again. Excellent. These keep the conversation friendly and flowing instead of awkward. Now imagine a real-life scenario. You're at a restaurant, and you ask for a glass of water with no ice. The waiter brings a glass full of ice. A basic speaker might just say, "No, no ice." But an advanced speaker might say, "Oh, I think there's been a small misunderstanding. I actually asked for no ice in the water." See how polite and clear that sounds? Practice with me now. Repeat slowly. "Oh, I think there's been a small misunderstanding. I actually asked for no ice in the water." Very good. Say it one more time naturally with a friendly tone. Excellent. That is how you sound advanced and polite even in difficult moments. Another advanced skill is storytelling with detail. When native speakers tell a story, they don't just list events. They add feelings, images, and reactions. For example, instead of saying, I went to the beach, it was nice, you could say, I went to the beach last weekend, and the weather was perfect. The sun was shining, the water was warm, and I felt completely relaxed as I lay on the sand. Do you feel how alive that sounds? Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. I went to the beach last weekend, and the weather was perfect. The sun was shining, the water was warm, and I felt completely relaxed as I lay on the sand. Try it again, but this time, add feeling in your voice. Excellent. That's storytelling fluency. Now let's create another short story. Imagine you want to tell a friend about a funny experience. A basic version might be, I was late, I ran, I fell. But an advanced version could be, I was running late to meet a friend, so I rushed out the door. As I was hurrying down the street, I tripped over my own shoelace and nearly fell. And everyone around started laughing, including me. See the difference? One is flat, the other is alive and entertaining. Practice with me now. Repeat slowly. I was running late to meet a friend, so I rushed out the door. As I was hurrying down the street, I tripped over my own shoelace and nearly fell. And everyone around started laughing, including me. Excellent. That's advanced storytelling practice. Another part of advanced English is using idiomatic expressions, those natural phrases that natives use in daily life. For example, break the ice means to start a conversation in a friendly way. Hit the books means to study hard. Under the weather means to feel sick. Piece of cake means something is very easy. Let's practice them together. Repeat slowly after me. I tried to break the ice at the meeting by telling a joke. Again, I need to hit the books tonight because I have an exam tomorrow. Now, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I think I'll stay home. One more. The test was a piece of cake. Excellent. These idioms make your English sound truly advanced and natural. Now let's take a practice situation with idioms. Imagine someone asks you, how was the presentation? Instead of just saying, it was easy, you could say, it was a piece of cake. I finished it quickly and confidently. Or imagine someone asks, why aren't you coming to the party? Instead of just saying, I'm sick, you can say, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. These idiomatic answers make you sound like a native speaker. Another advanced skill is describing feelings with nuance. Instead of only saying, I'm happy or I'm sad, you can express different shades of emotion. For example, I'm content, I'm excited, I'm relieved, I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, I'm nervous, I'm confident. Each of these gives more detail about your emotional state. Let's practice some together. Repeat slowly. I'm content with the results. Again, I'm excited about the new opportunity. Now, I'm relieved that it's finally over. Next, I'm disappointed by the outcome. One more. I'm frustrated because things aren't working as planned. Excellent. These words let you express yourself with advanced clarity. Now let's practice. In a short exercise, I'll describe a situation and you'll repeat an advanced response. Situation. You just finished a difficult project. Basic answer. I'm happy it's done. Advanced answer. I'm relieved it's finally over, and I feel proud of the effort we put in. Practice it with me. Repeat slowly. I'm relieved it's finally over, and I feel proud of the effort we put in. Very good. Say it again, naturally, with emotion. Excellent. Another advanced feature of English is using relative clauses to add detail smoothly. For example, instead of saying, I met a man, he is a doctor, you can say, I met a man who is a doctor. Or, I read a book that was really inspiring. Or, this is the place where I grew up. These make your sentences flow naturally and sound advanced. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly. I met a man who is a doctor. Again, I read a book that was really inspiring. One more. This is the place where I grew up. Excellent. By practicing these, you train yourself to connect ideas into one smooth sentence instead of many short ones. Now let's do another real-life example. Imagine someone asks, tell me about your favorite movie. A basic answer might be, it is about a boy. He is a wizard. But an advanced answer could be, it's about a boy who discovers that he is a wizard and goes to a school where he learns magic. Do you see how the relative clauses make it smoother? Practice with me. Repeat slowly. It's about a boy who discovers that he is a wizard and goes to a school where he learns magic. Perfect. This is exactly how advanced English works in daily conversation. Finally, let's talk about smooth transitions in storytelling. Native speakers often use words like suddenly, eventually, meanwhile, at the same time, afterwards, in the end. These words make your story flow and sound alive. For example, we were waiting for the bus. Suddenly it started to rain. Or, I studied all night and eventually I finished the project. Or, meanwhile, my friend was trying to call me, but I didn't hear the phone. Let's practice these. Repeat slowly. Suddenly it started to rain. Again. Eventually I finished the project. Now, meanwhile, my friend was trying to call me. One more. Afterwards, we all went out for dinner. Excellent. These transitions make your English advanced and natural. One of the strongest signs of advanced English is the ability to adapt your speech to different situations. Daily life, we speak differently to a close friend than we do to a teacher or a manager. The words may be similar, but the tone and structure change. For example, with a close friend, you may use casual, relaxed language and even shorten your words. With a teacher or boss, you naturally become more formal, careful, and polite. Advanced learners know how to switch between these styles without hesitation. Think about how you would thank someone. With a friend, you might just say, "Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it." With a manager, you might say, "Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support." Both are correct, but the second one sounds more professional. Practicing these shifts in tone helps you sound flexible and advanced in every setting. Another important element is expanding your vocabulary in natural ways. Advanced speakers do not just know one word for an idea, they know many. Instead of saying big, you can say huge, enormous, massive, or gigantic. Instead of small, you can say tiny, minute, or petite. Instead of happy, you can say joyful, content, pleased, or thrilled. By learning synonyms and using them in real situations, you develop a richer style. This flexibility helps you avoid repeating the same basic words again and again, and it makes your speech more engaging to listen to. Advanced speakers also use more precise vocabulary to describe experiences. Instead of saying, "The food was good," you could say, "The food was delicious, flavorful, and perfectly cooked." Instead of saying, "The weather was bad," you could say, "The weather was stormy, windy, and unpredictable." This habit of choosing words that give detail and texture makes your English sound mature and advanced. Let's imagine describing a trip to a city. A basic version might be, "I went to Paris. It was nice. I saw the Eiffel Tower." An advanced version could be, "I spent a few days in Paris and it was a wonderful experience. The streets were lively, the food was unforgettable, and seeing the Eiffel Tower lit up at night was truly breathtaking." The advanced version paints a picture. It gives emotions and details, which help the listener visualize the experience. This is how you take your English from simple to advanced. Another skill is using different sentence structures. Beginners often use short, direct sentences. "I woke up," "I ate breakfast," "I went to work." Advanced speakers link their ideas. "I woke up earlier than usual, so I had time to make breakfast before heading to work." Instead of many small sentences, one advanced sentence shows the whole picture. This gives your speech a smoother rhythm and makes it sound like native-level communication. Being advanced also means being comfortable with abstract ideas. Native speakers often talk about feelings, opinions, or possibilities. For example, "I believe traveling shapes our perspective on life." Or, "In my opinion, technology is changing the way we connect with each other." Practicing these types of statements pushes you beyond simple storytelling into real discussion, which is what advanced English is all about. It is also important to practice fluency through reflection. Every day, try describing something that happened, but add more detail than usual. Instead of saying, "I had lunch with my friend," challenge yourself to say, "I had lunch with my friend at a small cafe downtown. We ordered sandwiches, and we ended up talking for over an hour about our plans for the future. It was really enjoyable." By practicing longer reflections, you develop the habit of speaking in complete, advanced sentences naturally. Another area of advanced English is expressing cause and effect. Beginners usually say, "I was late because I missed the bus." Advanced speakers can use other phrases. "Since I missed the bus, I ended up being late." Or, "Missing the bus caused me to be late." Or, "As a result of missing the bus, I arrived late." Each version is slightly different, but all are advanced because they show variety. The ability to say one idea in multiple ways makes you sound flexible and fluent. Let us think about another example of cause and effect in daily life. Instead of saying, "I studied hard," "I passed the exam," you could say, because I studied hard, I managed to pass the exam with confidence. Or, I passed the exam as a result of all the studying I did. These versions give you advanced ways to connect ideas smoothly. Advanced English also includes expressions of possibility, probability, and certainty. A beginner may say only, "It will rain." An advanced speaker can say, "It might rain." "It could rain later." "There is a good chance of rain," or "It's almost certain that it will rain." Each of these shows a different degree of confidence. Using such expressions shows control over the language and the ability to be more accurate. Practicing these shades of meaning helps in real conversations. For example, when talking about future plans, you can say, "I might travel next summer if I have enough money." Or, "I'll probably stay at home this weekend." Or, "I'm definitely going to visit my family next month." These variations allow you to sound natural and advanced while sharing plans. Another key aspect is using time expressions and sequencing to describe events. Beginners say, "I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I ate breakfast." Advanced speakers connect the sequence. "After waking up, I brushed my teeth and then had breakfast." Or, "Once I finished breakfast, I quickly got ready for work," adding after, once, then, later, eventually, and finally makes your description flow smoothly. Consider how you might tell the story of your day. A simple version could be, "I got up, I went to school, I studied." An advanced version might be, "I got up early in the morning, and after a quick breakfast, I went to school. During the day, I studied hard, attended 2 classes, and later, spent some time reviewing my notes in the library." This advanced version shows a complete sequence and feels like a natural story. Another mark of advanced fluency is using conditionals to describe imaginary or future situations. Beginners may only say, "If it rains, I'll stay home." Advanced speakers can use more structures. "If I had more time, I would learn another language." Or, "If I had known about the event, I would have gone." Or, "If it weren't raining, we could go outside." These conditional sentences show flexibility and are very common in natural English. Practicing conditionals makes your speech richer. For example, imagine talking about dreams. "If I became fluent in English, I would travel the world with confidence." Or thinking about regrets. "If I had studied harder last year, I would be at a higher level now." These structures connect imagination, past regrets, and future hopes in a very natural way. Finally, one of the most advanced skills is expressing opinions with balance. Instead of saying only, "I agree" or "I disagree," advanced speakers use phrases like, "I see your point, but I think there might be another side to consider." Or, "That's a good point, although I would add that." Or, "I mostly agree, but I'd like to mention." This style shows respect and maturity in discussions. Practicing balanced opinions can be very helpful. Imagine someone says, "Technology is always good." A basic response might be, "No, it's bad too." An advanced response would be, "Technology has many benefits, especially for communication, but I think it can also create problems if people depend on it too much." This version shows agreement and disagreement together, which is the hallmark of advanced conversation. One of the most effective ways to strengthen advanced English fluency is by practicing spontaneous speaking. This means speaking without preparing every word in your mind first. Many learners hesitate because they are worried about mistakes. But advanced speakers know that mistakes are part of the process, and what really matters is the ability to keep talking smoothly. To practice this, you can choose a random topic, like your favorite food, a recent movie, or even what you did yesterday, and try to describe it in as much detail as possible without stopping. The goal is not perfection, but flow. When you allow yourself to speak continuously, you train your brain to form sentences automatically, which is the true sign of advanced fluency. Another powerful technique is shadowing. This means listening to a native speaker and repeating their words at the same time, matching their speed, intonation, and rhythm. Shadowing is extremely effective because it forces your mouth and ears to work together. Even if you don't understand every single word, the practice of copying the natural flow of English helps you sound advanced. To make this exercise practical, you can choose a podcast, a speech, or even a short video and spend a few minutes every day shadowing the speaker. Over time, your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence improve dramatically. A useful habit for advanced learners is thinking in English. Beginners often translate from their native language before speaking, which slows them down. Advanced speakers try to remove this step by forming thoughts directly in English. You can practice this every day in small ways. For example, when you are walking outside, describe the things you see in English inside your head. If you're cooking, think about the actions in English. I'm chopping the onions, I'm adding salt, I'm stirring the soup. This daily mental practice slowly rewires your brain to operate in English, which makes speaking advanced and natural. Advanced learners also practice paraphrasing regularly. Paraphrasing is the skill of saying the same idea in different words. This is very important in real conversations, especially if the other person doesn't understand your first explanation. For example, if you say, "This project is very difficult," but the listener looks confused, you can quickly paraphrase. In other words, "This project is challenging and takes a lot of time." By practicing paraphrasing, you avoid getting stuck and keep the conversation flowing, which is a very advanced skill. Another habit of advanced English speakers is using examples to explain ideas. Instead of just saying, "Exercise is important," you can add, "For example, exercising regularly helps me stay energetic during the day and reduces stress after work." Adding examples not only makes your English sound advanced, but it also makes your ideas clearer and more persuasive. To practice this, try to always add at least one example when giving your opinion. A very useful area to practice is expressing future plans and intentions with different structures. Beginners usually say, "I will go," or "I want to go." Advanced speakers have many more choices, such as, "I'm going to," "I'm planning to," "I intend to," "I hope to," or "I'm thinking about." Each one gives a slightly different meaning. For example, "I'm going to visit my family next week" is certain, while "I'm thinking about visiting my family next week" is less certain. Learning to choose between these makes your speech more precise and advanced. It is also valuable to practice describing habits in advanced ways. Beginners usually say, "I always read books," Advanced speakers can use phrases like, I tend to read books in the evening, or I usually find myself reading before bed, or reading at night has become a habit for me. These variations make your speech sound richer and more natural. Another powerful technique is using rhetorical questions to make your speech engaging. Native speakers often use questions not to get an answer, but to emphasize a point. For example, who doesn't enjoy a good meal after a long day? Or, isn't it amazing how quickly technology changes? These questions invite the listener to think and make your English sound advanced and dynamic. It is also important to practice self-correction while speaking. Native speakers do this all the time. They might start a sentence and then change it midway. I think we should... Actually, let me put it differently. We could try another method. Instead of stopping when you make a mistake, keep going and correct yourself naturally. This shows confidence and control, which are both advanced qualities. Another advanced habit is describing cause and effect in detail. Instead of simply saying, I was late, you can say, I was late because the train was delayed, which caused me to miss the meeting. Or, due to heavy traffic, I ended up arriving late. Adding these structures shows your ability to explain situations clearly, which is a key sign of fluency. Advanced English also involves connecting ideas with transitions. Words like furthermore, in contrast, as a result, nevertheless, and in addition are very powerful. For example, I enjoy living in the city because there are so many opportunities. In addition, the cultural life is very exciting. Or, the plan seemed good at first. Nevertheless, we faced many unexpected problems. Practicing transitions helps you move from one idea to another smoothly, which is exactly how advanced conversations flow. Another area to develop is precision with numbers and quantities. Instead of always saying a lot, advanced speakers vary their language. A great deal of, plenty of, a large number of, a wide variety of, several, a handful of. For example, instead of, there are a lot of options, you can say, there are a wide variety of options to choose from. This makes your English sound richer and more precise. Finally, a major step toward advanced fluency is confidence in expressing opinions on big topics. Instead of only talking about daily activities, advanced speakers share thoughts on life, society, culture, or personal growth. For example, I believe learning another language changes the way we see the world. Or, in my opinion, social media has both positive and negative effects on communication. Practicing these kinds of thoughts not only improves your fluency, but also prepares you for deeper conversations with native speakers. At this stage of your journey, one of the most powerful ways to sound advanced in English is to practice expressing ideas with nuance and subtlety. Instead of giving strong yes or no answers, advanced speakers often use softer, more thoughtful expressions. For example, instead of saying, I don't like it, you could say, I'm not really a fan of it, or it's not exactly my style. Instead of saying, I love it, you might say, I really appreciate it, or it appeals to me a lot. These variations make your English sound more natural and less robotic because they capture the shades of real human. Emotion. Another technique is practicing speculation about the past, present, and future. Advanced English uses structures like must have, could have, and might have for past speculation, and could, might, or may for present or future possibilities. For example, he must have forgotten the meeting, or she might have taken the wrong train. For present and future, it could rain later today, or they might be running late. Practicing these structures daily will help you sound more advanced and accurate when discussing possibilities. Advanced fluency also grows when you practice expressing degrees of certainty. Instead of always saying, I think, you can say, I'm fairly sure. I'm almost certain. It seems very likely, or there's a slight chance. This allows you to share your confidence level clearly. For example, I'm almost certain he'll accept the offer is much more advanced than simply saying he will accept the offer. Another important area is summarizing and concluding thoughts. In conversations or presentations, advanced speakers often summarize their points naturally. For example, so, to sum up, the main advantage of this plan is flexibility. Or, in conclusion, I believe that practice and consistency are the keys to fluency. Summarizing shows that you can control and organize your ideas, which is a very advanced skill. Advanced speakers also use emphasis naturally. Words like absolutely, definitely, totally, completely, and entirely make your speech sound stronger. Instead of, I agree, you could say, I completely agree. Instead of, it's wrong, you could say, it's absolutely wrong. These small additions make your English sound alive and confident. It is also helpful to practice contrasting perspectives. For example, some people believe technology makes life easier, while others think it makes life more stressful. This type of balanced expression is very common in advanced discussions and debates. To practice, you can take any topic and think of both sides. For example, traveling is exciting because it allows you to explore new places, but it can also be tiring because of long flights and time changes. The ability to see and express both sides shows maturity in language. Another advanced element is using collocations, words that naturally go together. For example, you don't just say do a mistake, you say make a mistake. You don't just say big rain, you say heavy rain. You don't say strong tea, you say strong coffee. Learning collocations helps your English sound native-like and advanced, because these word combinations are what native speakers use naturally. Advanced learners also benefit from practicing formal and informal expressions. For instance, instead of saying, give me a call, you might use the formal version, please contact me at your convenience. Or instead of saying, I can't come, you could say, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend. Knowing when to switch between casual and formal styles is an important skill that shows mastery. It's also important to remember that fluency is not just about speaking quickly. Many learners think that speaking fast means advanced English, but that's not true. Fluency means speaking smoothly, clearly, and confidently, without long pauses or constant searching for words. Even if you speak at a moderate speed, as long as your ideas connect and your sentences flow, you will sound advanced. One of the most effective daily practices for advanced fluency is journaling in English. Write about your day, your thoughts, or your plans, but do it as if you are telling the story to a friend. Then, read it aloud. This combines writing, thinking, and speaking practice in one activity. Over time, you will notice that your ability to form advanced sentences becomes automatic. Finally, let's close this masterclass with an important reminder. Advanced English is not about being perfect. It's about being flexible, confident, and natural. The more you expose yourself to real English, the more you practice speaking, and the more you challenge yourself with new vocabulary and sentence structures, the closer you will come to sounding advanced. So as we finish today's session, I encourage you to keep practicing daily, even in small ways. Repeat advanced sentences, tell detailed stories, shadow native speakers, and push yourself to expand answers instead of stopping with simple ones. Over time, these habits will transform your English. Thank you for joining me in this Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. I'm Adam, and I truly hope this practice helps you grow in confidence and skill. Keep going, keep practicing, and remember, every word you speak takes you one step closer to true fluency. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more lessons that will help you master English step by step.